Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're jumping straight into part 6 of our 10-part tutorial series, the MLOps Strategic Guide. Look, if you're in IT management or an IT professional, you already know that building a machine learning model is really just the starting line. Getting that model out into the wild and actually keeping it healthy, well, that's a completely different marathon. In this chapter, we're breaking down exactly how you can cross that finish line. Now, the strategic playbook we're unpacking today comes directly from Virtualization Options LLC. They're a Colorado-based technology research, education, and advisory organization. We're leaning on their research here to give you a highly structured, truly battle-tested perspective on operationalizing machine learning. 87%. According to the research, 87% of machine learning models never reach production. Let that sink in for a second. Your teams could spend months training brilliant, complex models, and almost 9 times out of 10, all that work never delivers a single drop of business value. We're looking at a massive crisis in ML production. But today, we're going to talk about how to fix it. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is how Chapter 6 bridges that gap. We'll diagnose the ML production crisis, define the core pillars of MLOps, look at automating your pipelines, cover monitoring and governance, and then wrap up with a concrete 6-step strategic roadmap. Section 1. The ML production crisis. Why models fail. So why do they fail so often? Honestly, it's almost never a lack of data science talent or bad math. It is all about operational gaps. Think about traditional software engineering. DevOps manages one primary artifact, right? Code. But MLOps, it requires managing 3 first-class artifacts with equal rigor: code, data, and models. If you try to force ML into a standard DevOps pipeline without treating data and models as first-class citizens, you are absolutely going to hit a brick wall. Section 2. MLOps core pillars defined, the foundation. To manage those 3 artifacts without losing your mind, IT needs a rock-solid foundational framework. First up, people. You need cross-functional ownership between your data scientists and your ops teams. Second, processes. We're talking highly standardized workflows for both training and deploying. And third, platforms. You need scalable tooling that essentially enforces best practices on autopilot. Miss even one of these, and the whole system kind of collapses. So ask yourself, how mature is your IT organization across those 3 pillars? The tutorial maps out 3 distinct levels. Level 0 is entirely manual, just disconnected notebooks. Level 1 steps it up with automated training pipelines. But Level 2, that is the holy grail for IT, full continuous integration and continuous delivery. Reaching this mature state is a total game changer. It allows organizations to deploy models 6 times faster and slash failure rates by 60%. Section 3. Automating the ML pipeline, speed and reliability. Now, to actually achieve that kind of speed, your infrastructure needs a heavy-duty orchestration engine. You've got Apache Airflow, which is fantastic for broad DAG-based scheduling. Then there's Kubeflow. It's Kubernetes native, meaning it containerizes every single step for seamless cluster scaling. And of course, you have managed services like AWS SageMaker or Google Vertex AI. These orchestrators automate the really critical IT steps, acting almost like a bouncer, enforcing data validation schemas to block corrupt inputs before they can break your production systems. This dual storage architecture is brilliant because it solves one of the most frustrating ML bugs on the planet: training serving skew. A modern feature store uses an offline store, like your data warehouse, optimized for batch training. But crucially, it pairs it with an online store optimized for sub-millisecond retrieval for real-time inference. Because both are served from a single unified feature definition, you are guaranteed mathematical consistency between the lab and the real world. No more guessing games. Here are the leading platforms running these feature stores today. You have your massive cloud-native options, right? SageMaker, Vertex AI, Azure ML. But what's really interesting is Feast. Feast is the standout, vendor-neutral, open-source option. It supports multiple backends, which is absolutely fantastic if your IT strategy requires agility, and you want to avoid getting locked into a single cloud provider. All right, so the model is packaged. How do you actually release it safely? Blue/green deployment gives you a zero downtime full swap between the old model and the new one, which is perfect when you need the ability to do lightning-fast rollbacks. Canary deployment is a bit more cautious. It shifts traffic incrementally so you can keep a close eye on the metrics. You can even do shadow deployments, where a new model processes live traffic but doesn't actually serve the predictions. It's essentially a completely risk-free real-world IT test drive. Section 4, Monitoring and Governance, Keeping Models Healthy. Look, getting a model into production is literally just day one. Models degrade over time. It's a fact. You have concept drift when real-world inputs fundamentally change from your training data. You've got upstream pipeline failures, that silent data corruption that breaks your model without ever triggering standard IT alerts. You absolutely must implement specialized monitoring tools to detect drift and silent failures way before your core business KPIs take a hit. To manage all this chaos, you need the right team structure in place. The data scientist owns the model math. The data engineer owns the data plumbing. And the MLOps engineer, their sole focus is platform tooling and CI/CD. Chapter 6 strongly recommends a hybrid team model here, meaning you have a central IT platform team that builds the core tooling, and then you have embedded practitioners who actually apply those tools within the individual product teams. Section 5, your MLOps strategic roadmap, from theory to action. Let's bring this all together. Here is your execution playbook, directly from Chapter 6. Step 1, assess your current state honestly. Step 2, define your target maturity for the next 12 to 18 months. Step 3, select your platform. Decide if you're building open source or buying managed services. Step 4, pilot a high-value use case. Step 5, standardize and scale across the org. And Step 6, measure your KPIs and iterate. But hey, a massive warning here. Do not attempt to jump straight to level 2 automation without firmly establishing your level 1 foundations first. Walk before you run. The ultimate long-term vision of MLOps is beautifully summarized by this concept. Fully automated, self-healing ML systems where drift triggers retraining and evaluation triggers deployment. Just imagine an IT environment where human intervention is only needed for high-level strategic decisions and the infrastructure just seamlessly handles the rest. So I'll leave you with this question. Is your current IT infrastructure truly prepared to support this self-healing future? Thanks for joining me for Chapter 6 of this Explainer series, and I'll catch you next time.